Hello, how are you? Today is President's Day, Monday. God bless all of you here in United States. I was listening also to the officers, the no officer Daniel, here on Wilshire Police Station on 4168 Venice Boulevard, close to La Brea, where I have come a couple of times to talk to officer wives or commander wives, and they were saying that also Officer Daniel had opened a PO box where he was getting all the letters under my name, pretending to be me. That he was the one also here in the police department investigating, and he was getting also letters and checks of $100,000 and $200,000 for who knows for how many years here at the police department on Wilshire Boulevard, where Garcetti, Mr. Garcetti, started here, the father of Michael Garcetti. Friends of my brothers, Mario Valiente and Roberto Valiente. They are the ones who used to come to El Salvador in the old days with Eddie Lopez, who used to work for Richard Jordan. Eddie Lopez grew up with us in El Salvador, and Rene Lopez and Andrea Lopez and Ricardo Lopez, who was also hired by Garcetti in North Hollywood, I believe, as a commander or captain. And he was never an officer. There in El Salvador, they were already stealing from my father papers or properties, because my father bought properties and my mother. I believe my brother Mario Valiente, he was always involved with the Garcettis, and also Obama, who was in the house of my father, like Attorney David and Donald Trump, and Commander Daniel, and also Mr. Bush, President Bush, was there in the house of my father, like President Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Judge Judy was there, like Judge Michael and Judge Rudy and Judge Marcos. Most of them are involved in stealing from the letter of the State Department, the letter that stole from me years ago. They have been building businesses all over the world, and they have built these cities with big buildings the way I wanted, the way I always predicted, and the way I always said it through the speakers here with my microphone in the old days, blessing United States and blessing El Salvador, where I was born. God bless all of you. How sad it is, people, that I am the one who was my own attorney, because Gloria Allred never wanted to represent me, not even other attorneys. Actually, what Gloria Allred did with my friend Carl Little, who looked like Michael Jackson and who was the best friend of Khalila Ali, with who he grew up in Chicago in school, wife of Muhammad Ali, the best boxer of the world, champion of the world. They were my friends, and they knew that I was writing about Maggie Company. So what Carlito did, I believe he went with Gloria Allred to Maggie Company, and they say they were going to sue for $700 million. If they don't get $100 million, they will do it. And they went under my name. They never represent me, even though I talked to her. And I did it myself. I decided to file the papers, and I represent myself in court. And God bless all of you. How sad it is, all of you, knowing that I am the owner of the letter and all the money that is in the banks in the world. All of you are not coming for me. All of you are just there, waiting the moment probably for me to die or get older or something to happen to me. That's very sad. Of all of you what Donald Trump has done, and Obama, and President Clinton, and Hillary Clinton, and also President Bush, and Mrs. Bush, who's also involved. All of them, they started the campaign with my money. All of them. They didn't have no money until they stole my letter. The first time that Donald Trump took some money from the bank, from that letter, Martha Stewart talks through the creation in the air. Says that he took $100,000 first. Then after 2 months, he took another $200,000. Then it went to $1 billion. Then he transferred $1 billion, the money, to Wells Fargo people. This money doesn't belong to him, it's my money. Whoever out there stole $100,000 from me, or to $1 million, and it went up, and they have become owners of banks. There's a lot of Koreans involved in this country. There's a lot of people from many places involved who have become billionaires with my letter, with my money, and they've been keeping me poor. All my brothers are involved. They killed my father too. Like all of them killed my father. They show up always in the house. They were killing him first with acid from the batteries of the cars. I wrote to Donald Trump 3 years ago when my father was alive. Then after his death, I also decided to go to the city hall and put an investigation through all of them. They found them guilty. They are guilty of murder. And the judges, they've been helping them because they are also involved in stealing from my letter. How sad it is, United States, that I have always said it. God bless USA, and I have always wanted the best for United States and for the world. And it has been infected by criminals and thieves and liars who only have bring wars to United States and destruction. Please, you have to do something to all the good judges out there of USA, on all the good people out there. If we don't do something, and if you don't come for me and put me on TV, then things will not change, people. Things will always be difficult in life. So I hope everything change, that one day when you really realize that it's me, that I'm alive, even though they made a letter and they fake it. They sign like my father. Then all my brothers signed, and all the Chavez Flores who were killing my father little by little with the people Garcetti started in El Salvador. They were bringing other officers to El Salvador, to the Chavez Flores. And my brothers grew up with them. My father never really loved them because he knew who they were. And my father always was having a hard time with my older brothers. I experienced it, and I saw how they were treating him. They were so evil with my father. Even though my father died, and not even a penny I received from what my father left, when he always said, I will leave everything to you, son. And he will touch my face always and kiss me and say, I love you with all my heart. You're the son I love in life. Because all the other ones were worshippers, and they are worshippers of the devil. In El Salvador, in the house I used to live, they had the sign of Hitler, always worshiping Hitler, because Donald Trump was coming in the old days to El Salvador to teach people, the young people, about Hitler. And also Garcetti was there with my brother. People, you have to believe, I was there as young. I saw Mario with Garcetti touching pennies, one another, each other's. He used to come with Eddie Lopez and Ricardo Lopez, and they were also there, Commander Randy. And there is so many mafias in these days. I went to Main Electric. I saw only gangsters, cholos, they call them. In Magee Company, they say there are only gangsters, cholos in these days. That Donald Trump and Commander Randy and Commander Daniel, the general, is hiring. Be careful, United States. You have to do something. I have never lived with my family, and I don't live in the houses they bought with my money. I've been living in this motorhome. From this motorhome, I talk to you. I have never liked drugs, not even alcohol or marijuana. And I am against all of that. I want a future for all of you here in the world. God bless all of you. Be careful with these officers who also are participating, and they have been killing other officers who want to put them in jail. God bless again all of you. I hope you come for me and you understand that I'm old now, and they stole the letter when I was young, and they started with my paintings. With my paintings, Donald Trump and Garcetti and all other officers like Sally Matthews, Sally Raleigh was there in this warehouse they built, and also Attorney David. And there was Commander Randy and Commander Daniel selling my paintings with Donald Trump all over the world, people. My paintings are registered in Congress Library in Washington, D.C. Only one painting is not registered. It's the painting of the monkey. They stole the copyright, but I didn't put anything in the copyright. I have to go get a copyright. They are my original paintings. And there is one painting of a Spider-Man. When I was just a boy, I did it. And Mario, my brother, and his son stole it. And they stole it in a book. And they took it, I believe, to Sammy's camera, and they sold it to a Spider-Man producer. I went to the police department and I talked to Sally Matthew. None of them had given me not even a report. I called the police many times about the letter, the state, and the paintings. They hang up on me. But I also record them, and I put the recording on the courts of our Supreme Court and Department of Criminal Justice, and also to the state of Nevada and the state of California. I put something. God bless all of you, United States. You have to understand it's me. And with Donald Trump Jr., he was using my face. He was using the face of my son, Jonathan Valiente. They all grew up with my family. They are the family of Eddie Lopez. They grew up with Eddie Lopez. Eddie Lopez was always with Richard Jordan. And they also brought a lot of these people who never had papers here to be citizens. They helped them to become citizens. They stole my citizen letter when United States made me a citizen right away when I won the case, and they sent the letter for me. Garcetti stole the letter, and all of them. The letter that was given to me as a citizen of USA. I don't have that letter. And I don't have the letter of the State Department. And I don't have an address. They keep stealing. Officer Daniel, he is the one who's been pretending to be me, going to Chapo Guzman from Mexico, because I am the one who has always put the waters to the creation since I was a little boy. And I know what I am doing, and I know what I've been doing, and I know how to do it, and I know how to investigate with holy waters. And he was going to the prison under my name, saying that he was Jaime Adalberto Valiente, the attorney. Chapo Guzman, he said, Jaime, he has taken $200 million already from me. Here he comes pretending to be you, pretending to be the attorney. And also Michael, the banker of this Bank of America, where I'm parked between the Bank of America and the Chosen Galbi restaurant. This is where I'm parked with my motorhome on Olympia and Western. The street here is Manhattan Place. And this man is Korean. And he was also going to see the Chapo Guzman under my name, pretending to be me, Jaime Adalberto Valiente, and he also took money from him. I wrote about that to the courts, and I wrote about that he was also stealing from the beginning with the Chosan Galbi restaurant, Mr. Chosan and Mr. Galbi from the Korean gallery. All of them are the ones who also were in the house of my father because of the letter. And Mario also became the man of Mrs. Galbi and also Mrs. Chosen. They were women of Garcetti too, when they were young. All the Chavez Flores women are his women and women of my older brother Roberto Valiente and Mario Valiente. And also all the Lopez women are women of all of them and women of Garcetti. And all the Bonillas women are also women of Garcetti. And my brother, they live always with Pierres. When I was young, I went with Jonathan Valiente, my son, to the house of Pierres, James Bond, who's from the movies, in Malibu City by the ocean. And my cousin said, "This is your house, Jaime." But there was Mr. Pierce right there watching. He didn't want to continue telling me, but I knew that he is involved. And there was my cousin with Roxana Bonilla, Marta Bonilla, Alma Bonilla. All of them became women of Mr. Pierce. And I grew up with them in El Salvador when I was young. God bless all of you. Also, Donald Trump has been trying to steal the wealth that my father left for me and the wealth my mother left for me with Garcettis and other people. Thank you to all of you. God bless El Salvador, hallelujah, and all Central America, and even though Mexico and South America and United States, hallelujah, who gave me the letter of the State Department. And God bless that lady who signed it and passed it. And I believe they put the guns on her that day. That was Garcetti and Obama and Donald Trump, because Obama is the one who's involved in all of this too. God bless all of you. I hope you resolve the problem and you come for me.